I want to talk about Youth, the movie, Tamil movie, which got recently released on Netflix for a Hindi audience like me, or like who has been brought up in north and the west of country. I got exposed to cinema because I wanted to work in films, which I have done, and then initially I was very resilient about the kind of films which we were making in India, and because the world cinema exposure, and that is the kind of thing which I accepted very later on in my life, that uh, I'm actually getting influenced by the people in the Facebook group, or people around me, when I was working started working as an assistant, or the makers I'm following and all. So being an assistant changed the way I used to look at films, and it was tough initially to really get a grasp of the things which are happening around. But what really changed the way I looked at cinema, Indian cinema, I'll come to Youth, because this is my first probably a video or whatever, because I'm free at home from 1 year. I'm just trying to get my film made. It took its own. It's getting, but hitting the wall like anything. So I wanted to just do something with my time and mind and whatever is going through my brain. Uh, so what happens when you start assisting in, especially in Bollywood? I don't know about much about the southern industry or anything, how they function. I'm aware, but not. I've never practiced there yet. So I remember going to. I was writing a film of my own where it has to be it has to happen in one night. I was obsessed with. I like time bound ideas, and I was googling after I had seen almost whatever was there in commercial or available space. And then someone on Reddit told me, not told me, there was a mention of Kaidi on and by Lokesh Kanagaraj. So I watched it and got so mesmerized by it. I got so it's suddenly, it's like your brain is blocked for years, and suddenly one moment of something happens, and then eureka, my new energy, or the kind of things I look in cinema, and kind of I'm like, okay, this is happening here, and I was not aware. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna go and do it. I'm gonna watch. And at the same time, when I saw Kaidi, it was like it had released and it worked, especially in Tamil, but not yet here. So Master Music came, and the Vati raid, and so then I heard it. It was banger. I used to hear it on loop, and then get to know, okay, Master releasing. It was a COVID release here also, so I came to Mumbai from Delhi after a point because of the COVID, and I saw the film in theater, and that was my first time cinematic experience of watching an Indian film, especially a star film. What do you call star film in a theater, which is like occupancy was 30% because of the 50%, and there was a crowd who was cheering for everything. And that day I get to know about, okay, the things which I was actually kind of hating earlier, or was not something, was impression of others on me. So, and I really enjoyed the film. It's not like because I enjoy the experience of crowd cheering. It's just like I enjoy the film and enjoy the making. I enjoy how the character unfolds, how the music kicks in, especially Anirudh music. And that's how, when I realize, okay, I'm the guy who's a fan of Aparichit, or even Tere Naam, or Nayak, matter of example, Rang De Basanti, and all. So these are what do you say, famous films on TV. And I'm like, okay, maybe I've seen enough world cinema at that point of time, 10, 12 years of it. And I was like, what kind of films I want to make is what kind of films I really want to be working on, or the making is this kind of film, because that's my kind of cinema. I like, and that's from there I started watching a lot of Tamil film. Malayalam film I had seen earlier, because those are already were great. Tamil film I got introduced at that point of time, and uh, then I started watching. And Lokesh is while I'm pitching my first feature film, my reference point is always a Lokesh cinema. Lokesh cinema changed everything for me, and more I watch. Yeah, there is some kind of what do you say, similarity in a lot of Tamil films or Telugu films for sure, Tamil films, or but there is something new. And coming to the point, Youth by Ken, who has worked on Asuran as a Dhanush's kid. This is not a review. This is more of an appreciation for how can you use a similar what do you say uh, structure or like a template filmmaking, like a guy who's like not good in school and all, the innocent mother, and it's more like a dragon also follows a similar kind of a situation. But what really makes me feel good about it is the making of it, the how he and see the one thing which initially I learned while assisting. People usually say it's a cliche and don't do it, but there's a reason why there's a cliche. Cliches work, like in all the mass film, the mother has to suffer, or the mother has to die, or some family member has to go through, or your lover has to go through. Why I can't a random person? Because there's a cliche of it. That's why it works for me. So similarly, Youth is a little cliche film, but what works is really exciting casting, getting the father, and the father has his own thing, and son who really doesn't respect, but the father mother bond is really great. And uh, in all, it's a package. It's a package to have your emotions uh, enjoy your emotion. I cried while watching, which is a test for me if I'm watching this kind of film. It's not a thriller, so of course you don't expect the audience to get shocked by it. But with the kind of work he has done, Ken, it's like you can see how the shots are cutting, how the music is blending in. Even the songs are funny, even for a dub, like person who I watched it in real language, like the original language, like Tamil with subtitles, but there is always something like lost in translation. So uh, I would love to see that way. I like to really do that way. And it's amazing to see a young guy just like making films, which is really good to have it in there, and then making money also on the in theater, and really able to get it. So I think it's a good thing. It's just like people should watch it more often. Also, this quality people who always comes in, like being an assistant or being a film buff or everything. What matters in the end of the day, even for a maker, even if you're a snob, if you're not a snob, if you are just there, if you want to do something, not want to do something related to cinema, everyone is seeking pure enjoyment by the audience. Even if they're 20 people, if they're enjoying in theater. I'm not saying every film has to be fun. If they're a horror film, Malayalam director Rahul, he's a brilliant director of horror who can really make his kind of horror, yet the audience can feel it. His sound design is great. But see, this is what I'm saying. The new age makers in down south are really interesting. Like I find it, and they have channelized different energy in me, because I used to think in a certain way. I used to think, but there's no more trying to impress someone. There's no more trying to be someone. There's more of being myself, more of me being enjoying myself. The kind of cinema I want to make, that is more of that than the kind of cinema the world is making, the kind of cinema I like to watch. Coming back to the same points, like I enjoyed Aparicit is a brilliantly written thriller. I don't think you can make such a different film with such a commercial space and get such a solid performance. Like I cannot forget Vikram out of my mind. So, and also, there's nothing wrong. It's like I'm a big fan of also what is that Nagarjun sir's film, which was Hindi dub, Meri Jung One Man Army and all. And people will judge but these are the films which I have seen, and it's not they're all trash or something. They are fun. There's some style to it. There's some masala to it. There's some emotional arc to it, and so yeah, that's it. Right now, I don't know. Youth. I spoke very less about Youth, but the music is killer. There's some fun song. The first half, second half, yeah, works very well. And not a critic, but What lands is like the themes should land, your emotion should land when you're making a film. If I'm making a cold film, that's also still okay. Like how we always compare, like people say, not even I feel, but sometimes how Nolan film always have cold emotions. They don't come on surface much, like someone else, like Avatar, or someone like a James Cameron film or a Martin Scorsese film. Nolan's emotions are very into themselves, but what happens, he serves the emotion. That's the whole thing. So whatever we're trying to tell you, a story from dream or anything, but the emotion has to land. If that doesn't land, then irrespective of the great story, you are a great like a visual maker or not a visual maker, or you made a out of the box film, doesn't matter. People will forgive every other mistake of your film, and but not the emotional landing, because that will take home, that's what they will take home, that's what connect to them. And I'm glad and happy that most of this new I keep on repeating new, because I used to think that I'm also new, but I'm uh, older than most of the makers now in South, because we don't really get a chance under 35 here most of the times in Hindi, because no one trusts you unless you are. So that's the problem, that's the thing which is not happening here. And uh, you cannot impress someone without it, or without the emotion of anything, emotion of, like, there's a solid uh, film by the Kara director, the first one, Thodil. Sorry if the pronunciation is wrong, but that's how it is. That's an amazing film. I really loved it when I saw it Sony Live, and I was like, oh, this is a small film. It's a small film, but the thriller element works, or the tension works, but there's an emotion on it. Or a lot of Malayalam films, they have solid emotion in it, but it's just like enjoy films more than reviewing them, or more than criticizing them, or more than finding, oh, this is not great, or this is not like this film, or this is not, it's not supposed to be like that. It's not. And I'm also saying from a very maker or a audience point of view, both point of view, like you should enjoy films like you enjoy a song, like you enjoy a cricket match, or like you, because it's a mode of entertainment. Yeah, there's so much money. Like, you will not say, oh, I saw CSK versus RCB match, and RCB scored 130 and CSK took 19.5 overs to just chase it. Slow match, boring match, but it's a match, it's a fun, because you are interesting players are happening, so that's why it is fun. Unless the match is very shit, what do you how we got lost in 2007 World Cup. That's a match that you cannot accept it. That's you cannot. Uh, I don't know what to do about it. So that pain never goes away. But when there is something about it, has to be some redeeming quality in films. We start to label, because, and also in the internet, most of the time the labeling happens because others are labeling, so you think you can label it too, or you should label it too, because that will make you cool. Like how with Animal or a Kabir Singh or a Arjun Reddy or anything else, but the labeling stick to one sort. So open your horizon, don't think about this, think about the people who are sitting next to you in theater, or maybe your family, or someone you really care about or think about. And depends, I have a distinct opinion than my wife, or I have a more different opinion than the peers I work with, or the kind of people, like the kind of my seniors or whatever, like they think that I'm more South Indian, gonna become a South Indian maker or something. But that's not the thing. It will always have me inside. I really enjoy the making of it, the kind of thing they use, like a Lokesh's use of music, or youth has a solid music on it. So all these things matters a lot, and that adds on to a lot to films. And the kind of style, I would have never thought of my writing changing because of watching Lokesh's film, not because of the writing, because of how he uses music sometimes, how the situation comes in, how he blends in the retro song, or a Nelson's comedy, or these are the famous terms, but or like a Malayalam makers, like how Dinjit uses in Echo, or Kishkinda Kandam, like how he uses it. It's a simple film, but the audience love it. So it's a complex film told in a different manner, but it's like a simple story. But how he uses it, how audience uses it, how we see it, how we perceive it, that matters a lot. And it's just a blabber right now. I don't know, I just made it. See you, bye.